So last day we learnt about the RFP process. Okay, so we saw a sample RFP and we saw how a requirement can be packaged into RFP and sent it to vendor. Okay, today we are going to understand about RFI. So before that, let us understand how this RFP is packaged and the requirements are put into RFP and then sent into vendor. Okay, so let's say there is a company called ABC company. Okay, and they want to modernize their contact center. So basically, the current contact center is not performing as expected. They are using technology that is, that has been dated, and next gen capabilities are no longer present for that contact center. Okay, or maybe some other issue. They want to integrate with some third party system, bring out new functionalities, and that is not happening. Okay, so they want to basically modernize the contact center. Okay, so what will happen? Okay, the first thing is that they will bring out the requirements. Okay, so let's say they uh, brought out a few requirements. I'm just putting requirement number here. Okay, requirement 1, requirement 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so there will be business team within the ABC company. They will finalize the requirement, and for the sake of argument, let's understand these are the list of all the requirements that they want to achieve via this program. And let's say they name this program as a contact center modernization program. Okay, something like that. Okay, so via this contact center modernization program, the company want to achieve these requirements. Okay, now this company ABC, okay, can have multiple partners. Okay, okay, uh, which is registered with them, or they have done some existing business with them. So let's say there was some other requirement in the company and there is a partner 2 with whom they got that implemented. Say there is another partner 1 with whom they are maintaining the system. Okay, so they might have existing partner, or there might be new partner that they are looking for. Okay, partner 3. Okay, okay, or maybe partner 4. Okay, so basically they think for the sake of argument, let's understand that they think this is a complex implementation. Somehow they think that partner 1 partner 2 might do, might not do, but they just want to check whether we get a better quote from the market. Okay, so let's say this partner 3 and partner 4 are a new partner. Okay, now what they will do, they will not directly send the RFP with long list of requirement to them. Okay, because if the partner is not capable enough to respond to RFP, okay, then there is a waste of time, because this RFP process usually takes a lot of time. There would be vendor management team which would create the RFP, then there will be lot of to and fro questions and things like that. Okay, so company ideally don't want to engage with someone who is not capable enough. Okay, how they check the capability is that they send a RFI before actually sending the RFP. Okay, this RFI is called request for information. Okay, so this is just like collecting a basic information and assessing the health of the prospective partner before actually inviting them to submit their proposal and get into a bid management process. Okay, so typically the process would be like this. So the RFP process, I would not say RFP, it will confuse. Okay, so let's say I'll just keep a process for as of now. Okay, so process would be something like this. The first one would be circulating RFI. Okay, so this they will circulate to, let's say, 10 vendors. Okay, okay. Then they will shortlist among those vendors based on their health. Okay. The second one would be circulation of RFP. Okay. So let's say they have invited for 5 vendors here. Okay, to submit the proposal. Okay. Now these 5 vendors will actually get into the RFP process. Okay. Other 5 vendors will be rejected. Okay. Now these 5 vendors will actually ask basic, ask questions. Okay. We'll go through RFP. Vendors go through RFP. Okay. Ask questions. Okay. And submit response, okay, with supporting docs. Okay, so this is the third step. Okay, fourth will be evaluation. Okay, so once these vendors have submitted the document, response document, there will be evaluation phase. Okay, so let's say in the evaluation they will judge based on certain parameters. So yesterday also we saw there were evaluation criteria where the pricing was the pricing had the largest weightage. Okay, so they will evaluate. Okay, then there will be a demonstration. Okay, now what will happen, they will evaluate, and whosoever has passed the evaluation they will invite for demonstration. Okay, so this demonstration, what will happen, this demonstration will have uh, two kinds of demonstration. Okay, the first would be proposal walkthrough, which is also known as defense. Okay, so defense or proposal walkthrough, so basically what will happen that they would go through the proposal. Okay, and if they have any certain questions in certain areas they will clarify, or they might ask the vendor to give a brief walkthrough of your proposal if they want to. Okay, so the first would be proposal walkthrough, and second can be a, oh my god, okay, and the second can be a demonstration of a use case. Okay, so basically they will tell, okay, you just show us how a case management use case will look like in your system. Okay, so let's say for the sake of argument there are 3 bidding parties. One is Salesforce, one is Oracle, let's say one is another CRM. Okay, so what they will do, they will give a use case to all these 3 parties, 3 vendors, whosoever is bidding on behalf of these OEMs. Okay, and they will ask to demonstrate that use case in the system so that they can understand the look and feel of the system. Okay, how what is the UI UX, then how fast is the system. Basically they will not be able to do a full test, but overall capabilities of system look and feel, if they want to check they can check as this stage. Okay, so this demonstration can will be done by every party which has actually cleared the evaluation. So let's say 5 vendors were there. If all of them cleared the evaluation, okay, then all 5 people, basically the company will, vendors will give the walkthrough. Okay, once this is done, then comes the negotiation phase. Okay, so in this negotiation what will happen, they will select a final 2 or 3. Okay, let's say they select a final 2, so they are confused between uh, 2 vendors. Okay, then they will start negotiating. Then negotiation can be of different types. Okay, So negotiation is not always on the price. Okay, so we have a belief that negotiation is will always happen only on the price. It is not the case. Okay, so negotiation can happen on the price. Okay, so basically if they have quoted something, they will ask for discount. Okay, negotiation can happen for investments also. Okay, so investments can either be resource investment or pricing investment, or they can ask vendor to bring some tool as an investment. Okay, like they can ask, we don't have CI/CD tool. Okay, so do a investment in form of CI/CD. Okay, then we are good. Okay. Okay. Uh, then other negotiation could be, we covered price, we covered investment. Then what else? Uh, I think mostly it would be price or investment. Okay. Then other negotiation can be on the project execution. Okay. So this negotiation, how this happens is that they normally, what will happen, they will have a legacy system which has a subscription. Okay, or they will have some other system where they are currently paying money to the OEMs and all. Okay, so they, what they will do, I want the key, I want the key business process to be executed before a particular date. Okay, and they will tell that for this, if you have to do whatever you do, but I want uh, the first go live to happen at this date. Okay, so that is actually execution, project execution timeline negotiation. Okay, where they will negotiate on the MVP phase, or there would be some company where they would like to do a risk free implementation. Okay, so they will tell, I need a phased approach. So MVP, then phase 1, then phase 2. Okay, something like this. So all the negotiation will happen. Okay, then final what will happen, uh, there will be a contract that will be awarded. Okay, and statement of work will be signed. Okay, now what is this statement of work? This contract will be, obviously there will be legal teams in both the parties. Basically at the company side there will be a legal team, and then at the vendor side there will be a legal team. They will get into they will create a contract, and they will negotiate on the contract terms and agreement. So the negotiation not only happens at this phase. Negotiation will happen in contract also. So let's say contract has a penalty clause. Okay, uh, if something happens, let's say they are telling there will be 5% penalty. Okay, so the negotiation can happen on the contract clauses also, that let's keep the new penalty as 2.5 because we are taking a risk and things like that. Okay, uh, then the final step is signing the statement of work. This statement of work will actually contain all the in scope item. Okay, now what is this? Okay, so basically whatever is written in the statement of work, that vendor agrees, we will be doing we will be executing uh, this project with this model, let's say agile model or hybrid model or waterfall model. We will be implementing these features. Okay, this will be the RACI matrix. Then this is how we are planning to implement, basically the project execution model, offshore, onshore, things like that. Okay, so whatever is written in that statement of work, okay, that becomes the source of truth for project execution. So that is the document where both the party will rely on for any further discussion. So let's say after 3 months customer says that whatever you are telling or whatever you are implementing is not aligned with our thought process and all. Okay, then vendor needs to show the SOW that has been signed from the company as a proof that we agreed on this as a scope. Okay, and whatever you are telling, if this is beyond the scope, then there will be a proper change request that needs to be followed for including and accommodating those changes. Okay, I'm just touching on the like tip of the iceberg. I'm not getting into anything too deep, because this itself, every topic what I am covering is itself potentially can be a session in itself. Okay, so I'm just trying to give a proper detailed overview of each and everything that we see in our process. Okay, so basically this is how RFP process, end-to-end process will happen. Okay, this is how they will write the RFP, and these are the phases basically that they will company will follow. Okay, now the session is all about RFI. So RFI is the first document that is circulated. We understand that why this RFI is circulated now, how this RFI comes into picture. So let's go through RFI, okay, and then we will understand what exactly is the content of RFI, so that the RFI document will be more clearer. Okay, let us take the example of the same RFP that we saw yesterday with the requirements. Okay, so suppose this is what the company wanted to implement. Okay, so they wanted to basically, here is the list of requirements. Okay, so they wanted to have a case management system, then they wanted to have ability to create contact records, then they wanted to have a chat features and things like that. Okay, and suppose on these implementation criteria, they wanted to check the health of the prospective vendors. Okay, so how they will do? Okay, so what they will do, they will create a RFI document. Okay, so this is how a RFI document will look like. Okay. They will keep the company name, then they will put the program name, so that vendor understands this RFI circulated for this particular program. Okay, and going forward, the same project or same program will be referred in the RFP. Okay, so let's say the program name is next stage, and this program is a service cloud implementation program. Okay, they will give a short description. This description will be very high level. Okay, they will not provide any detailed description, architecture diagram, or as is process, or anything. Normally they don't provide, they can provide, but at this point of time, minimal information is shared with the vendors. Okay, so on a very high level, they will put they will elaborate what they want to achieve with this program. So this is what it is: create cases associated with the contact records, use chat features, restrict access. Then we have knowledge based implementation. Then we have a reporting capability. They need CTI integration, and they need integration in-house existing system. Okay, so on a very high level, 50,000 feet, they will tell that this is what I want to achieve in this program. Now they will ask the vendors, you tell me what is your capability. Okay, so vendor needs to fill vendor name, address, details, date. So this is the basic details that need to fill here. Okay, then they should respond to the item that that will be circulated in the RFI. Okay, so normally this is not something which is constant. Okay, it's not like every RFI will be aligned to this template and all. This is one of the template that that is used or that can be used. Okay, there are multiple templates or multiple templates which a company can think, and they will put all the parameters or sections that where they need the information. Okay, so they will ask for technical and domain capabilities. Okay, if you see here, they are asking the existing partnership status. So whether it's a gold, silver, or if it's other technology, there might be different partnership status. Okay, so they want to gauge which kind of OEM partnership this vendor has. Okay, then they will ask for number of existing Salesforce implementation. So this will actually tell that how many implementation they have completed successfully. Okay, then they might see that we have CSAT score. Okay, they might see how the vendor has performed in the CSAT. Okay, then this multi-cloud implementation, they might ask which cloud they have done. So this is just a single cloud footprint, service cloud footprint. But think of a situation that after service cloud, they want to implement community cloud, okay, or they want to implement sales cloud. Okay, so with this RFP, they don't basically, what a company will think that I will onboard a vendor that can actually help me to implement multiple things, because changing vendor, then getting into RFP process, it's time consuming. So they might ask for the multi-cloud experience. Okay, then they might ask for company vision or any history of delivery failure. Okay, so these things will actually tell their technical capabilities. Okay, partners should respond elaboratively. This cannot be one line answer or two line answer and things like that. Okay, they need to elaborate from partner side. They need to put as much information uh, as it is needed here, so that their true capability is shown or brought out. Okay, then the second one is vendor information. So these are the basic information: when the company was founded, total number of employees. So all these information will actually give the company health, whether company is actually doing good, company is in the last quarter or in the last year, how company has performed. Okay, whether this company is green or whether company is already in the red zone or things like that. Okay, then the customer reference. So customer reference, basically these are the actual reference with which company can talk. Basically, these are the customers of the vendor, which the current ABC is pursuing. They will talk to these customers, these references, and they will ask how this vendor implemented, and what was their experience with this vendor. Okay, so they might ask for references. Then they can ask for verticals, basically for domain specific knowledge. So let's say this company is an insurance giant. Okay, normally what will happen that if a company is from banking or insurance, they would ideally want the vendors to have some kind of experience in that vertical, because there will be some domain specific knowledge that is required for implementation. Or if the vendor has that domain specific knowledge, it will be easier to implement. So they ask for verticals. Then they are asking for team roles and number of resources. Okay, basically this I think we touched upon yesterday or day before yesterday, in our last video, that they might ask for number of resources, actual resources that you have. Okay, so company can tell that I have, let's say, 10,000 employees, but that 10,000 employee in that company will not might not work on Salesforce, right? If this is a Salesforce implementation, they need the actual resource count of Salesforce. What is your bench strength? How much is your Salesforce personnel? Okay, so they will ask how many leads you have, how many senior developer you have. Okay, how many developers is there on your payroll. Okay, just to judge on the scale of the breadth of that vendor. Okay, then we have delivery location. So this will tell whether this company has a multiple geographical footprint already or not. Whether they have experience delivering to all the locations. So why this is needed? Because there might be certain rules and regulations pertaining to that particular area. So EU might have different rules, or US might have different rules. Okay, so if the company doesn't have a global footprint, then if the RFP or is circulated for a particular region, it might be troublesome or difficult to actually get that implemented as per the regulatory or local policies aligned for that implementation. Okay, so this is also something that is checked. Okay, then methodology. So if some company doesn't believe in a only agile, okay, they want a hybrid approach, where they want to do some part of the implementation in agile, some part of implementation in waterfall. Okay, they will check whether they have that agile and plus waterfall experience or not. Okay, Then they might check for project experience, like whether they have cater to large customer or complex site or multi geographical rollout. Okay, so they will just quickly assess the vendor on these parameters. If let's say the current company has a future plan to uh, roll out in a different geography. Okay, then obviously they can judge on the tools and check whether they have done some implementation on the CI/CD approach and things like that. Okay, how they are deploying. Okay, then they might check the integration experience, Salesforce expertise. So Salesforce expertise, for the sake of this RFI, they need a Service Cloud CTI implementation. So they might ask what is the Service Cloud certification that is there in your organization. What is the Service Cloud expertise that your personnel have. Okay, how many CTI implementation you have done? What is the CTI expertise? Okay, so things like that. Okay, testing capability. So let's say customer has a automation testing requirement. Okay, so there are few customers which might not ask for automation testing. There are few customers who are adamant, and it is a deal breaker if someone is not experienced in automation testing. Okay, so they can check whether that company has done automation testing and the capability in automation testing or not. Okay, there are some certain customer which might look for automation testing on a particular platform like Selenium. Okay, so these things they can straightforward ask in the RFI stage itself. Okay, then there are support capabilities. Okay, what is the support capabilities? Basically, once the implementation is done, is the vendor able to support 24/7? Okay, or 8/5, or vendor has ability to support all from the on-site. So let's say, for the sake of just for the example, let's understand this is a US implementation. Okay, is the vendor capable of supporting from US? Okay, so all these things they can check. Okay, and then finally they can check a resource rate card. So let's say they have a particular budget in the mind. Okay, let's say for this RFP, I think they have declared that they had a 3 million budget. So let's say they have a budget of 3 million in the mind. Okay, they might just this is a rate card, this is a pamphlet card, this is not a negotiated card. Okay, so they might just do a basic calculation and understand whether these rates will actually suffice the implementation, or basically it is going beyond their budget or not. Okay, so that's how this RFI will look like. Okay, in most cases this will be a short either a Excel, or it will be a PPT, or some kind of PDF. But in most cases it will be a document where some basic information and basic information needs to be provided by the vendor. Okay, I think that's pretty much I wanted to cover for RFI. We saw everything. Yeah, so that's pretty much on the RFI. So the next session will be actually a very exciting session. Okay, we are going to discuss on how to write the proposal. Okay, so basically this is all about how to read the proposal. So basically we covered this part: circulation of RFP, circulation of RFI, and circulation of RFP. Okay, we understood the RFI document, we understood the RFP documents. Okay, now this part, okay, vendor go through RFP, ask questions, submit response with supporting documents. This is what we are going to cover in the next section. Okay, and this is the bread and butter of every pre-sales consultant. Okay, from here to here, I think is the most important piece of knowledge that every pre-sales consultant or whosoever working pre-sale should understand. Okay, beyond this, I think people can manage, but these two are acquired skill. It's not an innate skill. Okay, you need to understand how these things are done, then only you can excel here. Okay, so we will meet next time. Thank you so much, and keep practicing.